Yo, what's cracking everyone? Ericship 111 here. So, Forza Horizon 5 is a huge open world racing game filled with many little secrets, Easter eggs, and even unwanted glitches. And ever since this title launched back in November of 2021, it has had an interesting life cycle filled with many changes and updates. So, in today's video, here are some very useless information about Forza Horizon 5 that you may know, as some of these have been featured on my channel before, but if not, sit back, enjoy, and also feel free to share any more incredibly useless information about the game down in the comment section below. Did you know our first glimpse of Forza Horizon 5 was actually teased by Microsoft back in 2019, just the year after Forza Horizon 4 launched? When the world premiere of the Xbox Series X console was revealed, the trailer featured an ever-evolving landscape with some of the biggest IPs like FIFA and Halo. However, in some of the shots, you can see the landscape morph into cactuses, with the end showing a Koenigsegg Regera blitzing right through. At the time, we didn't think much of it, but looking back now, seeing as how Forza Horizon 5 ended up in Mexico, I can't believe this small yet so relevant tease flew under the radar. Have you ever wondered why this particular speed trap is impossible to be placed in the top 200,000? Well, apart from the blatant cheaters that Playground Games still refuse to delete, most of these entries are indeed legit. It's no secret that the fastest top speed car in Forza Horizon 5 is the Koenigsegg Jesko. It can cross this particular speed trap at around 305 miles per hour, maxing out to around 310 miles per hour with a proper tune. However, in Update 9, there was a car physics change that would increase the top speed of the Jesko from 310 miles per hour to nearly 330 miles per hour without having to retune the car at all. This would inflate every leaderboard entry before it was quickly patched in Update 10, making it impossible for any current players to top this particular speed trap. Update 9's physics not only affected the top speed of the Koenigsegg Jesko, but it also made certain trucks incredibly unstable too. As you can see in this clip, the Ford Julie truck was very easy to tip over, and many Horizon 5 players noticed this change too. Now, the reason why Update 9 featured such a drastic change in car physics was to accommodate for the Hot Wheels expansion, which was released during that time. Obviously, some changes were overtuned, and just like the Jesko's top speed, the handling for the trucks did end up getting toned down significantly in Update 10. Over at the Baja circuit right next to the Horizon Festival site, at ground level you may not think much of this track, as it just looks like any off-roading circuit that you'd expect. But if we go into aerial view, you can see that the circuit layout looks rather close to the Playground Games logo. Is this a coincidence, or could it be an Easter egg? We don't know. However, if we go back to Forza Horizon 4, that game also had something quite similar at the quarry, where the layout resembled what looks like a Horizon bike rider's helmet. What do you guys think? Speaking of Easter eggs, over towards the east side of the map, there is one particular street sign that you can find where it will show you all the cities featured in past Forza Horizon games. There are a total of 6 different festival sites. 5 of them are named based on the type of racing you'll be participating. You have Apex for road racing, Wilds for dirt racing, Baja for cross country, Rush for PR stunts, and Street Scene for street racing. But did you know during development, some of these festival sites had different names? As you can see in these early concept images, Apex was initially called Qatar, and Baja was originally named as Zama, while Rush remained the same. Throughout the main map of Forza Horizon 5, there are loads of these information stands or tourist boxes scattered around. Now, if you look closely at these 2 images of both sides of the stands, the images were taken directly from the Horizon 5's E3 announcement trailer. Here is the particular shot from the waterfall, and here is the other shot of the volcano. Did you know that the Goliath race was once in the track rotation in Horizon Open? Sadly, it was removed just a month after the game's launch to prevent extremely long wait times in between races. In this game, Playground Games secretly updated the tail lights on the Ferrari 458 Italia. If we zoom right in, you can see every detail imaginable. According to senior vehicle artist from Playground Games, Alex Kilpack, this was a prototype tail light asset he built to push the overall model quality and fidelity, test tail light material properties such as refractions while still conforming to their strict technical specifications. Pretty cool to see that if Playground Games had enough resources and time, they could make some incredibly detailed car models. And just to confirm that the taillights are new, these were how the taillights on the 458 looked back in Forza Horizon 4. What a huge difference. If you look on the bottom left of your HUD, you will see a link option which basically allows you to use in-game phrases while you are either out in free roam or racing against other players. But early on during development, this was how link was originally spelled. Not sure why, maybe it was Playground Games just trying to be unique, so whenever you hear the word link with a C, you'll immediately recognize it as a Forza Horizon feature. Who knows, but somewhere during the final stages of Horizon 5's development, this was eventually changed. Did you know when doing a burnout in a front-wheel drive car, your front tyres do not create any smoke at all, which is rather odd considering every previous Forza Horizon game you did. For those with a keen eye may notice recently that the model years for some of the Paganis have changed. The Zonda Cinque is now changed from 2009 to a 2010 model. The Zonda R has changed from 2010 back to 2009. The Huayra Coupe is now a 2011 model, which was previously a 2012. And the Huayra R is now a 2021, which was previously a 2022. The only Paganis that haven't changed are the 2016 Huayra BC along with its Forza Edition variant. However, what's also interesting is that the name of the 2016 Huayra BC did change and it's now called the Huayra BC Coupe. As most of you know, there are several cars in Forza Horizon 5 that are interactive out in free roam. Some cars can take off the roof, while others can change into different driving modes. Now, when it comes to vehicles that change the way they drive, there are only two vehicles in this game that also has an interactive cluster. The first is the Ford Mustang Mach-E and the Toyota GR Yaris. As you can see in both of these vehicles in cockpit view, if you switch the modes, their dash would change too. While I will argue that the Mach-E's change in dash looks rather uninspiring, the GR Yaris however does look quite cool, and I certainly hope that this is something that will happen more for a future Forza Horizon title. In the 2023 Porsche 911 GT3 RS, again in cockpit view, if you ever decide to do a money shift, you can briefly see the rev counter flip back to 0 before it flips back onto red line again. During Series 34, Playground Games introduced a new driver suit called the Horizon Retrowave outfit. Now, at first glance, this may look like a cool little throwback to the dress style of the 80s, until you take a closer look at what's attached to the right hand of the driver. It looks like an Xbox controller, but why is it shaped like this, and why is it on the right hand? Well, this is actually an Easter egg to Nintendo's Power Glove from 1989, where it would be sold as a motion control peripheral for the NES. Sadly, the Nintendo Power Glove was not well received, but still a very cool little Easter egg by Playground Games. This is the Mercedes AMG 1 Forza Edition, the legendary car that was announced at E3 of 2021, but ended up not being obtainable once the game released. This car featured a special AMG livery that's not seen on the standard variant in-game. In fact, there are no traces of this special AMG 1 anywhere except in one cinematic shot in the Horizon Origin story. Right here before it cuts back to the AMG 1 without the special Forza Edition livery. This car certainly exists somewhere in the developer's build of Forza Horizon 5, and I would just love to know how different this car is compared to the one we actually have in game. If there is one thing to learn from today's video, that is to never challenge or accept a challenge from a player who is driving an unobtainable NPC vehicle. I don't care how fast your car is, the odds of you winning is near impossible, as these are players who have modded their accounts. A subscriber by the name of Broken MPS discovered this the hard way as he took on a bus in a Lamborghini at the Horizon Festival drag strip, and well, this was the outcome. Just like that, the bus is gone. Anyways, if you guys did enjoy today's video, please make sure to smash the thumbs up button as it really does help me out. And of course, if you guys would like to see more Forza content like this, be sure to subscribe and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.